there! So I have this book and I found a cat. She just woke up and now she wants to cuddle. So this year I'm doing it for Thanksgiving. However, I got it at the very end of December. So I'm recording this video at the beginning of January so I can return it to the library on time. But this post is not going to air until November 2015. So anyway, this is Cranberry Thanksgiving by Wendy and Harry Devlin. Cranberry Thanksgiving was actually a really cute book. I wasn't anticipating just how adorable it was going to be when I started reading it. Hi, Dobby. You want to go play with your sister? Yep. Okay. It's very much so a younger audience. So it starts off with this little girl Maggie, and she's hanging out with this old guy named Mr. Whiskers, and I don't remember what his actual name is, but she calls him Mr. Whiskers because he's got a giant beard. So he's helping her get firewood, and her grandma's making food, and her grandma has this recipe. She makes cranberry bread every year, and it's like the most amazing thing in the world, and everyone is trying to get her recipe from her, but she wants it to be secret, and she wants to give it to Maggie when she gets older, whatever. Maggie, they think that Mr. Whiskers wants her recipe really bad. And the grandmother invites this older guy. I think he's new in town, but he's like this sophisticated man, and he dresses right, and he knows how to handle himself at the table, and her grandmother says, Maggie, you can invite somebody if you want to, like find someone who's less fortunate, that doesn't have anywhere to go on Thanksgiving. So Maggie invites Mr. Whiskers, and Grandma gets like really upset about it. She's not happy that Mr. Whiskers is going to be in her house eating her cranberry bread, and she's pretty sure that he's going to try and steal the recipe. So she hides the recipe from everyone, and then they have Christmas dinner. So when they're at dinner, the sophisticated man is sophisticated, and Mr. Whiskers is not, and the recipe gets stolen, and they just see Mr. Whiskers like running out of the building. And they go out there, and Grandma's like, he stole my recipe, and she's like freaking out. And Maggie's like, no, it wasn't him. It was a sophisticated man over there who found the recipe, and he's trying to run off with it, and Mr. Whiskers is chasing him. So eventually Mr. Whiskers grabs him and brings him back, and they like shame him and say, no, you were bad, tisk tisk. And Grandma reconciles with Mr. Whiskers, and they hear a knock on the door, and it's the sophisticated man, and they still offer to have him in their home, even though he did wrong by them because it's Thanksgiving. And there's also a really cool recipe at the end. So there are two really big things for me in this book. The difference between right and wrong, and the effect that it has on other people, like the effect of your choices on other people. It's a good foundation for them to have, and I believe that this book is really good. It might be, I mean, it's an older book, and it might be kind of cheesy, but to a 3-year-old, they're not going to know that it's cheesy. They're just going to know, no, Mr. Whiskers, they were nice to Mr. Whiskers. The first thing is that even though you might be struggling, you still care for those who are struggling as well. So even though you might not have a lot of money or a lot of food for Thanksgiving, you still invite someone over who is in the same boat as you. I just think it's really good that Grandma was like, well, even though we only have a little bit of stuff for Thanksgiving, we still have enough for 2 other people to share with us, so you can invite someone that you feel needs someone on Thanksgiving. And another thing that this book teaches children is that looks they can be deceiving, and you need to judge someone based on their actions, and how you feel about them, not based on what they look like. And the third thing that this book teaches is second chances. In this instance, they weren't saying, we forgive you for stealing our recipe, but they were saying, you have a second chance to redeem yourself. you did something bad, now fix it. And I think that that's really good for young children, because when kids are very little, I mean, if someone takes their crayon, they hate them for the rest of their lives. Or, I mean, it's something very small that can lead to a lifetime of issues for them. So those second chances, when they're younger, are very important, and learning to give people second chances is also really, really important for young children. I gave it a 5 out of 5 because I think that it does really good job of teaching children the entire theme of Thanksgiving. I would definitely read this to one of the younger children in my life. And to wrap it up, this one came back to cuddle with me again. So, thank you for watching. If you're interested in more videos, please subscribe or like. Please give me suggestions for other Thanksgiving books. I have links down below for all my stuff. That's pretty much it. Alright, so yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you again soon with another video.